It has taken me half an hour to set up my laptop, and unfortunately, I've got to use this thing where it's recording my face at the same time. But here we have, again, sorry for what went on before today, but we have this here network, right? So draw the network here. Hopefully you can see everything I'm doing, and I'll post that here, right? And so we're going to start off by drawing this here. If I can move this little thing, it's kind of in the way. And so it says draw the representation of this activity table. If I make this a bit smaller, and I'll start here. So first thing that we need to move away from is that previously in all the other ones we had our networks where each of our vertices were labeled. You can see here A, C, D, so forth. But we shouldn't be doing that anymore. So when it comes to project networks, the activities are the lines instead. And so, in fact, the first instance we have is this line here, and that's the initial start. And then our activity A is a straight line. Okay, activity A is a straight line. Okay, and then that takes us to the next point. Okay, now the dependencies for A are B, C, and D. Okay, so B, C, and D, that means there needs to be 3 lines coming off the A line. Okay, so here's B, C, and D. Now, for the moment, it'll look kind of messy, but for B, it is 5. For C, it's 3, and for D, it's 2. Okay, so it's not necessarily like this, but that's what it is. Okay, so the next one is E and F, and E and F have a dependency of C, right? So what that means is that those 2 lines can start. So they will start from here. So I think what a logical thing would do would be like, okay, well, E and F then need to do this, right? But hopefully you then recall that there needs to be a circle between any letters. So that's why we'll erase this and we'll finish off a circle, and then we'll get these lines off here, which is E, which is 4, and then F, which is 6. Okay? And then here's the next set of dependencies, because we've done these ones, is G. Now G is dependent on B and E, which means the line from B and E must connect to each other at one single point. So they're going to put a dot here, here, and here. So G can only continue here. So I'm going to do a line of here, and that'll be G, 8, okay? And then H is the same thing. H also depends on B and E. So H also gets its own line here, which is B of H, which is 4. Okay, so F and D are kind of left off to the dark at the moment. Now, I depends on F and D. So I is actually going to get its own one over here. So these lines will now connect, and then a line will come off for I, which is 9. Okay, and then the last letter we have to do is J. Now J relies on H and J. Okay, so J relies on H and I, sorry. So that means H and I need to connect to each other, and then this will be J, which is 5. That's supposed to be J. Okay, and then now we don't have anything else after, so now we just have to do the finish. And so actually what will happen is that these guys will finish together, okay, and then that's the finish, and that's it. I'm sorry that I couldn't show that during class today, but let's do another example. And I'm pretty sure that's right. Okay, you can double check the answer there. So if we go to some questions, look at the worksheet, let's produce another one. Let's do the one that, I couldn't do during class time. So here, paste. Okay. So If you want to try and follow along with me, you can pause it now, or you try it in class so you don't have